right, welcome. I'm feeling a little wild tonight. It is 2 in the morning, and I'm like, instead of waiting till tomorrow to do this episode, let's watch it now, because again, I don't want to jinx myself and have it get spoiled. I will say, the only spoiler I got is from my pal Rusty, saying this was an amazing episode. Here's the thing about saying it's an amazing episode. I doubt he would say it in an episode where one of his favorites go home, so I would expect certain people to stay. I don't know. And he's also not a fan of certain twists, so it's like there's so much to read into when someone says amazing episode. I don't want to hear that because I want to be able to form my own opinion going into it. But I'm excited now that it is, if he does think it's an amazing episode, because I thought the last episode was really great, and the episode before that even I enjoyed, but he didn't enjoy it as much. So we'll see here. That being said, last episode, Genie got voted out, which is sad times indeed. And they really decimated the tribe down to 2. And then they tease in the preview it's going to be some sort of not quite merge. So what are we going to do here? Who knows? I'm excited to see where we're going here, but either way, it should be fun. If you're new to the channel, a lot of our channel is reviewing everything from movies to TV to video game stuff, but Survivor has always been a staple of the channel. Every week you can see not only me watching Survivor 41 in real time, but also me taking my friend Alec, who is the other co-host of this channel, on his journey through Survivor chronologically for the first time ever. It's a very unique experience, and one, like, if you're a super fan of Survivor, you'll really appreciate, I think. Is because we have managed to keep him spoiler free, and it's a very solid operation. So we're up to season 10, Survivor Palau, we're in the middle of now, and we've done reviews of every season, so you can get his thoughts every season as it progressed throughout the series. And also we've done reactions to every episode since Survivor Thailand, so there's a lot out there. We break down every episode, and we really get to see the evolution of Survivor, and it's like a trip back in time with Alec. Most Survivor fans, myself included, like, even I started in season 19 with Samoa, and then watched them from then on, but then went back to watch a few seasons before. But even me, like, being a fan, when you jump in the middle like that, generally you're just gonna, like, when I dove into this stuff, I was just seeing like winner rankings, season rankings. So a lot of the results and epic moments of the series were known to me even before I saw the seasons. Even on the couple of the seasons I haven't seen yet, still, that's the case. Because I'm just really into the intricacies and the lore and the stats of Survivor. So a lot of fans will find themselves down that rabbit hole. But we're keeping Alec in this cage where he can't look anything up, so we can have a unique perspective, as if we're like back in 2005 watching it for the first time again. It's really cool. So yeah, please check that out. So every week right now will be Survivor 41, Survivor Palau, in addition to any reviews and discussions we have on the channel. So please stick around for that. We really want more Survivor fans to enjoy it. I think personally, as someone who's like spearheaded it and is in charge of editing all of it, I think it's really unique, and there's not much of a as much as there are Survivor podcasts and things like that, there's not really this market here, which is a unique perspective of taking someone through this journey and guiding them through it. It's really cool to capture. And yeah, with that, you get to see the reaction, his actual reaction to the episode. Okay, I'm tired, give me a break. As you can with mine, you can click the link in the description to see the highlights of my reaction to this episode, it's fun. You can join and watch with me, and then you can come back afterwards for the discussion, okay? Oof. Well then, this is certainly not what I expected. Is this the first episode in Survivor history where no one was voted out or quit or left the game in some capacity? Like, I can't think of another time they've done anything like this. This is crazy. And especially if there's going to be a 2-part episode, they'd always have it back to back. They never wait a whole week to see the actual the actual results of it. It's crazy. And that way I'm not super thrilled by that, how this episode turned out. I do think, yeah, it's cool to break in the mold and everything, but Survivor Ultimate, I love having someone gone every episode. So there's something to kind of like say this is Xander's vote out episode or whatever. And ultimately, I thought Erica's decision, like he made it seem a lot more epic than it actually was. Like I thought she was actually gonna turn back time and like friggin' pull you could like undo a friggin' vote off or something wild like that. But this isn't at least not too much shenanigans, you know. Because if she chooses to smash the urn. Okay, so you're switching who has immunity, which is a big deal, of course. But it's like it's not too much BS involved there. I don't know. I could see her going either way with it. In terms of the best option might seem like to keep it the way it is because the Luvu people are the safe ones. And she could still believe that they'll have her back over anybody else's, you know. Or she could really be like, I want to really play like a lion, and I'm at the bottom of Luvu, so F them. I'll just go full rogue on this one. But I don't know. So ultimately we got stuff brewing now, which, they showed a little bit of Deshaun, Danny, Leanna, Shan. They showed the people of color forming a potential alliance here, which is actually something I predicted going into the season when we talked about it with Rusty, our preseason video, is because in Big Brother, there was a big movement and a big alliance called the Cookout, which was made up of all the black members of the house. And in the same way, I thought they might take this opportunity because it is the most diverse cast in Survivor history, that they might take the opportunity to try to crown a person of color as a winner at least, but if not, a full-on alliance. But of course, I'm on board with that because you got my girls Shan and Leanna part of that. I'm not gonna hate on that at all. And I mean, I love pretty much all of them anyway. Actually, Deshaun and Danny are two that I really wanted to see play as well. So I don't know. I'm kind of hoping that Erica keeps it the same so they can all be safe. Otherwise, I worry for my boy Xander on the other tribe, though, because I feel bad. He is actually just loyal to those girls, but they just want to shaft. Leanna especially wants to just shaft him for. She really wants to get him. Xander, I do enjoy watching, so I'd like to see him stick around a bit. Don't want him to get his freaking idol or advantage stolen. But they already showed so much tension brewing between Ricard and Shan early on. They showed all the tension brewing between Tiffany and Leanna over the knowledge is power advantage. So we see stuff brewing. Ultimately, it might not matter at all, though. Like, they're really hyping up this decision with Erica at the center of it, but will it even matter if they just decide to vote Erica out anyway? Like, I don't know. That seems like the way it would probably go. Which is why I really wish they would have voted someone out in the episode. Because it's now so much is up in the air to even like the resolution of anything. Like, we don't know her decision. We don't know if it even matters. Like, could be doing this whole 2-part thing just for Erica to be voted out, But it was interesting. I mean, I kind of liked Jeff bringing us into this one. He said he would be talking to the camera a lot this season. This one kind of worked for me, where he was like, it was like right before you could actually see the tribe walking up to the challenge right behind him, and he's bringing us in on it. It's pretty wild. Like, it's a nice little change on the merge feast traditionally to make it so like, okay, not everyone's guaranteed the merge, but it is dirty now if they gave those red buffers what they thought was their security in the merge and guaranteed merge, like Jeff literally told them, and then to have Erica be able to just take it away. So much for being a red buffer. And what was even the point in winning the challenge? There was zero point in winning the challenge. It's all Erica's decision. It was a pretty intense challenge. Like, a lot of digging deep. Jeff was so passionate. He was into it. He was hyped off of the moment. And he was like, some of the best teamwork we've seen in Survivor history on display. So good stuff. It was a fun episode. I just wish we had a resolution to it. It really freaking blue balled me there with this. It is rough sending Erica on exile for 2 days, though. Like 2 days out of what, a 26-day season? That's pretty intense. I'm probably missing some points, but I think that's about it. Yeah, I forgot to even talk about the knowledge is power advantage last episode. And yeah, it's kind of nonsense. I really don't like it. It especially feels bad to have this advantage introduced after there was clearly a whole immunity idol situation where certain phrases were said, so you know who has each idol right now. Like, she knows for a fact Nasir, Xander, and Shan all have one. So it kind of undoes even the challenge of having to actually have the knowledge of where the advantages or idols are, or even have a hunch, you know? Because it's like, well, this is already just public knowledge for you. So if they didn't have these known entities and these idols are already out there, I feel like it would be more satisfying, and it'll feel a little more deserved when she does use it, and not when she freaking does Xander dirty, knowing damn well he had this idol the whole time. Well, I'm excited to see what happens next episode, and I'm excited to see where we go from here on out through the merge. All right. Shan's still my fave. I love you, Shan. I love Liana. I would marry Liana. Thanks for watching. Feel free to come back. Sorry, I'm really tired right now. Feel free to come back every week for more Survivor 41, as well as Survivor Palau currently. If you loved this video, if you enjoyed it, feel free to check out our most recent episode of Survivor Palau that we did. Feel free to check that out. All right, so that's episode 5 of Survivor Palau. Check that one out. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to our podcast feed. Like the video. Leave a comment. Hit the notification bell. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram. And like us on Facebook at Tarqaron. TWO. Right.